There is a new surgery being performed by the Align Surgical Associates based in San Francisco. I know you're going to be shocked to hear that. To nullify sex. Quote, nullification creates a relatively continuous and mostly unbroken transition from the abdomen down to the genital area, enabling gender non-conforming patients to enjoy a body that looks closer on the outside to the way they feel on the inside. So it turns you into a Ken doll or a Barbie doll, you know, where your pelvis is just completely flat. It just not only mutilates your genitals to look different than they currently look, it just tries to erase them entirely. And this is in the name of health. If I walked into a doctor's office today and I said, you know, I feel as though I only have one arm. And they say, well, Michael, you manifestly have two arms. I say, I know that you're saying that, but that's very hurtful to me because I identify as someone with one arm. And even if physically, even if by an accident of birth, I was assigned two arms at birth, I know that deep down in my true self, I'm a one-armed man. So I need you to perform a surgery and cut off my arm to make me feel on the outside more like I feel on the inside. I would, at least today, I would be committed to a mental institution for saying that, because that is crazy talk. You can't, no doctor today, as far as I know, would perform that surgery. That would violate the Hippocratic Oath. Doctors are supposed to, at first, at least, do no harm. Then they're trying to help you. When you mutilate perfectly functioning organs, you are harming people. However, if I go in and instead of saying, hey, doctor, I want you to cut my arm off, if I said, hey, I want you to cut off a far more sensitive part, many, many doctors in the country would do this. They would mutilate me if I asked them to. And in some cases, they would encourage me to do that because of kooky, cultish theories about sex and gender. This, I think this sort of surgery underscores a point that conservatives have not wanted to accept for a long time, but increasingly we are. We have to say no to certain things. We should not allow that to happen. We should use big government and regulations to stop private citizens and private businesses like doctors' offices from doing that. It's not enough to say, hey, if you want to chop off your organs and your limbs, that's fine, just don't make me pay for it. No, it's not fine. It's actually wrong. It's evil. It's unjust. You shouldn't do it. It's not compassionate to the people who are very confused who want this done. It's not good for society. It's contrary to the practice of medicine. It's contrary to justice and truth and goodness and beauty and the American way. Don't do it. You have to be comfortable banning things. If you want to preserve freedom, you need to say no to licentiousness. If you want to preserve free speech, you have to say no, you have to censor speech that undermines free speech. This is apparently a controversial, this wouldn't have been a controversial thesis even 50 years ago. This is apparently a controversial thesis today, and one that I advance in my upcoming book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, available now for pre-order. It's a great book to read, by the way, while you are sort of sitting out, relaxing, trying to bring together all of the craziness of this world, trying to focus. Not to harp too much on the creepy gender nullification surgery, but these sickos at the Align Surgical Associates, the San Francisco doctors group that's turning humans into Ken dolls, they perform other surgeries too. They'll perform surgeries where they will, you know, if you're a woman, you go in where they will sort of construct an organ that looks like a phallus, but they'll keep your actual genitals there too, so you'll just be you'll look more like a hermaphrodite, and they'll do the same thing for men. This is not this is not the purpose of medicine. The purpose of medicine is to take things that are not functioning and make them function appropriately, or to make them function better. If your kidneys aren't working well, then they're going to have some interventions, put you on dialysis, and make your kidneys function a little bit better. If your eyes aren't functioning very well, you can't really see, they're going to work on your eyes and they're going to make you see a little bit better. This presumes that things have a purpose and that your body parts have a purpose. But we deny that now in our culture. We deny that our body parts have any purpose. We deny purpose entirely, or the technical term telos. And so because we deny that, things get a little kooky, where you say, well, anything can be or do any other thing. And now the purpose of medicine has transformed from fixing things and making them do what they're supposed to do, pursuing justice, to fantasy, to creating fantasies and turning people into all sorts of things that they are not and that they really ought not to be. Now, this is all done in the name of compassion and in the name of pride. It's very prideful. It's very prideful to say that we can recreate the world according to our own fancies and that we have the right to do that and that we ought to do that and that the world will be much better, not according to nature and pursuing justice, but according to our own fantasies and our own basest desires. The pride issue is so much bigger than sex. Everyone wants to make it just about the gays, or just about that, now I guess including transgender or whatever. It's about so much more than that. It's about a leftist political program to transform all of reality. The idea that we can redefine reality by redefining words. A thesis I advance in my upcoming book, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds, available now for pre-order. It's what Whittaker Chambers said is the second oldest ideology in the world that began in the Garden of Eden when the serpent told Eve, "Ye shall be as gods." But that's what this is about. That's what constructing someone's body to look like something that they never were is about. Ring my bell. L. Ring my bell. My bell, ring my bell. Just ring it. Click it right now. Right now, do it. You subscribe, you'll get the notifications, and head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, MySpace, Xanga, AOL Instant Messenger. Wherever we have our audio podcast, please subscribe, leave a 5-star review. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.